What's going on, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack Sport Rider SE2 for electric bikes on our 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. If you have an 1.25 inch or a 2-inch hitch that is a class 2 or higher, we're going to be able to put the Sport Rider SE2 into the hitch, be able to carry 2 heavy bikes. It's about 80 pounds per bike, so if you have 2 electric bikes or 2 fat tire bikes, it's going to work for that. We can put it on pretty much anything that doesn't have a hitch in between your vehicle that's driving and whatever you're putting this on. Meaning, no fifth wheel trailers, no travel trailers, but we can put it on a motorhome if you have one of those. One feature I really look for in bike racks is the ability to tilt with the bikes installed, so you don't have to mess with taking all the bikes off just to get into the back hatch. So to do that, we have a little pin down low, and it is going to need to be lifted up a little bit to get that pin out, but it is connected by a little cable. You don't have to worry about that. And then you can go ahead and pull this little lever. It is rather heavy since we have 2 heavy bikes on here. This is going to vary from vehicle to vehicle, so depending on what kind of bikes you have and what kind of hatch you have, we're going to be good. So on our Grand Cherokee here, we don't have any issues, so we can grab whatever we need out of there. If you're going grocery shopping on the road and you just have your bike racks in there, you don't have to worry about taking them off or taking the rack out to be able to access that. All we have to do is put it up into place like this. You can do it by yourself, but if you have a friend, it might be a little bit easier. And then we'll just replace the pin. Snaps into place, done deal. When it comes to backing up, it is going to kind of hinder our vision a little bit. As you can see here, the sensors are going off and we can't really see a whole lot, but we can see enough. So it's not completely blocking our vision, but you are going to get the beeping noise whenever you're backing up. To hold the wheels into the cradles, we're going to have these straps, and we do have a little rubber sleeve that goes over the strap because I have some nice wheels and I don't want to get scratched up over time, and that's always nice. It just protects your investment. So to take these off, there's just a little tab, and we're going to do this first when we take the bikes off. The nice thing about this is they do pivot, so you can get it nice and easily, so you don't really have to take this strap and kind of bend it over to get it into place. And I'm going to do that for the other side as well. The frame hooks are locking, so you can lock your bikes to the rack so they don't run off. And we are going to get 2 keys with the kit, so you can put one somewhere and the other one somewhere else. So once you unlock it, you can go ahead and put a hand on your bike, lift that up, and then we can remove it. And now we can show you the padding on the hooks. We have an initial padding, which is like a harder rubber, and then we have more of a foam pad on top, so it's not going to scratch your frames. Now we can go ahead and take the other bike off the rack. Same exact deal as before, but the one that's closer to your vehicle is going to be a little bit more difficult. If you do have a heavier bike, I recommend putting the heavier bike towards the vehicle, just because your bike rack will thank you. But once we do that, hand on the bike, go up like this, and kind of lean it back a little bit, and remove the bike. With the wheel cradles, we are going to have a maximum wheel width of 5 inches, so it's going to be great for pretty much any fat tire bike you throw at it. Also, we're going to have a wheelbase maximum of 60 inches, and the reason why we can do that is we have these little knobs you loosen up, and these cradles are going to be able to slide all over the place, so we can maybe adjust one way and one the other way, or if you have some kids bikes, you can go ahead and put them a little bit closer so you can bring your kiddos to the trails too. With any hitch-mounted accessory, we are going to add a little bit of length to the back of our vehicle. On our Grand Cherokee here, from the bumper to the furthest most point, it's going to be about 28 3/4 of an inch. But we can cut that down a little bit just by pulling this knob, folding it up. That's going to bring it from the bumper to the farthest most point to about 13 3/4 inches. On our Grand Cherokee, we're going to go ahead and measure from the bottom of the shank to the ground. It's going to be about 17 3/4 inches, but we do have a 7-inch rise, so whenever we fold this down, we are going to add a little bit of length, but we're going to have 7 inches from that point of ground clearance. Like I said before, we are going to be able to put this on an 1.25 inch and a 2-inch shank, and we have some goodies that come with it. We're going to have an anti-rattle bolt with a locking core on the end. We're going to have a second little anti-rattle device. I have it flipped upside down just because it didn't really work with our bumper here, but it might with yours. You can do it either which way, like this, or flipped around up top. All you want to do is get this part here onto the shank, and that's just going to help with that vertical movement, and then the anti-rattle bolt is going to help with the horizontal movement. We have a little bit of movement here, but that's just due to the pivot point in our shank here, and that's not really a huge deal at all. So we're going to have a lockdown for our hitch and then lock for each bike, but if that's not enough, they do include a cable lock, and this is all going to be key to like with the keys that come with your kit. To sum it all up, this bike rack really covers all the bases. It's not going to be great for the carbon fiber bikes, not going to be good for the fifth wheel trailers, travel trailers, and of course your flat towed vehicles, but it covers all the bases for bikes especially. Fat tire bikes, electric bikes, kids bikes, and it has all the adjustments to really get that right fit so everything's safe going down the road. It has everything when it comes to locks for the hitch, for the bikes, and a cable lock, so you don't have to really worry about your bikes or your rack running off on the road. Well, everyone, that just about does it for our look at the Hollywood Rack Sport Rider SE2 for electric bikes on our 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee.